We're driving through Chandigarh's roads and it's an absolute treat to drive because the roads are beautifully done. The city is so well planned that it's really a lovely experience to drive through Punjab's capital. Sector 1, right outside the Sukna Lake. This is one of the landmarks here in Chandigarh. Now this is a lake that was created by building a dam on a seasonal stream. It's got a 2-kilometer long promenade and people just come here to relax, chill out and have some fun. It's here that we're going to be meeting with Anupama Arya, a woman who's creating entrepreneurial waves not just in Punjab but across India in the IT sector. So let's meet with her and find out more about the success story of Mobera Systems.
I'm Anupama Arya, age 39, founder and director Mobera Systems. Our 5-year goal is to increase revenue 7 times, increase our geographic reach, create intellectual property and innovate.
She moved from Silicon Valley with an entrepreneurial dream and lots of experience. Meet Anupama Arya, co-founder of Mobera Systems, a product development company. Before starting off on her own, Anupama worked with Lucent Technologies, but in 2003 decided to return home with her husband to start Mobera with just a lakh. Today, the company is growing 100% year on year and has up to 75 employees.
I worked in the Silicon Valley for a good number of years and I realized that I make a difficult employee.
Okay, why was that? You were questioning everything, is it?
No, I think I was having a lot of opinions and ideas, and once I had the goal, I wanted to do it in every which way I could. So sometimes that ruffled feathers. So I thought, being an entrepreneur would mean that you would try something of your own. And that's how I got started on entrepreneurship.
From a difficult employee to an understanding, accommodating boss, has that journey been made as well?
I think that one thing you can say about entrepreneurship is that you learn every day.
Yeah.
And there is no one day which is the same. And the learning curve is extremely steep.
What is the biggest lesson that you've learned so far?
Living with uncertainty.
How difficult was it for you to move back to India, start afresh, and really starting a business in 2003 was easier than earlier, but it's not as easy as it is now. So, what was that entire process like and where did the funding come from?
The funding for Mobera came from the customers, and doing
so you'd already tied up the
entrepreneurship.
customers before you actually got started, in a sense.
Yes, I would say that there was a whole lot of uncertainty.
Okay.
And but by and large, Chandigarh worked out well for Mobera.
With a core focus on communication, Mobera has clients ranging from large companies to startups, from bioinformatics to transportation. Mobera's clients are based mostly out of Europe and the US. But plans are on to expand the client base to Japan and Korea.
A typical customer of ours would have a concept in his mind, an idea that he has conceived that he wants to productize, and they would come to us and we would take over the creation and actual implementation of that.
Okay, but
and we would give it to that.
Are these largely US-based companies?
These are largely US and Europe-based companies.
Okay.
So an example would be something like, say a handset manufacturer wants to create something. So there are 2 parts to it. There is a hardware part to it and there's a software part to it.
And you look after the software part.
We will look at the software part. And we would create something new for him in that space. And he will further take it on, that company will take it on and they would sell it further to their customers.
And how is it split across verticals? Because you said, you're in the communication space, whether it's gaming, you're also looking at bioinformatics, embedded technology. So how is it sort of split across different verticals?
So the core focus remains communication. So wherever in the product the communication piece is involved, irrespective of the domain, is what our core focus is.
Okay.
We are agnostic to the fact as to, whether it is security or bioinformatics or anything else. Most of our customers, when they come to us, they realize that, and then the product lines get created from that. To start with a single one, and then it further gets developed onto 2.0 version and so forth.
It's very different from the sort of work that usually one sees happen out of Indian IT offices, or because we're seeing a lot of the outsourced work happening, we're seeing a lot of the back office work happening, but creating products and IPR is not actually something that we've seen a lot of people do in this space.
It's true, there are few companies in this area, and fewer still out of northern India and out of Chandigarh. There aren't very many, but I also think that this is something which will grow. It's more of a niche right now, but it is gaining acceptance worldwide, and customers and companies are getting comfortable with giving their crown jewels and their product ideas out for implementation.
But given the sort of boom and the sort of growth that we are seeing domestically as well, are you looking at domestic clients, or is that not an option at this point in time?
We have not considered that at the moment. We geographically would be focused on US and Europe and then on Japan. But down the line, definitely the Indian market is something which is changing rapidly. So we would, reconsider that.
The table is laid out well. Her targets are in sight. Her aim and direction is right. Soon she could pocket another company to expand Mobera's operations and expertise. And any plans to raise capital? Because as you have significant expansion plans, are you actually looking at raising capital at this point, or maybe even bringing in a strategic partner or so on and so forth to scale up and ramp up?
So capital, we looked at that. We shied away from taking capital.
Why is that?
Because capital doesn't necessarily solve your business problem,
right.
and we didn't want to. We wanted to grow organically, and we were doing well. And should we decide to grow inorganically through M&A and other activities, we would definitely consider.
Is that a significant part of the strategy going forward? Is that
yes,
on the drawing board?
That is something we will look at and reconsider.
What is the revenue target?
So we have been growing 100% year on year, and that is something we would like to continue. We are 10.3 crores in revenue this year. And as I said, we started in 2003, so it's been a heck of a journey.
Thanks very much for joining us on Young Turks on the Road. Pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you, Shireen.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
You can't come to Sukhna Lake and not get into a paddle boat. So while I get my legs a little bit of exercise, you take a quick commercial break. When we return, we'll take you to the rock garden.